Nestled among the trees of the forest sits the wizard Crispin's worn but cozy cottage. A small cellar door is located under the house. A small well is located near the cottage.
Ooh, don't bother with the cellar door. There's nothing there. Besides, it's locked.
Curious, Graham gazes down into Crispin's well, but sees nothing of interest.
Graham, watch out! A poisonous snake!
The quaint little town of Serenia nestles at the base of a great snow-capped mountain range which rises sharply to the east. Secure within a small pen, a spotted cow quietly chews her cud. A small tributary of the larger river powers an old water wheel as it flows through the town.
If you're going into town, I'll just wait for you here. I had a nasty run-in with a big dog once, and I feel much safer out here.
Quaint houses and little shops line the town's main cobblestone street.
How goes it with you, good fellow?
Not well, I'm afraid. This old wagon's always giving me trouble.
Can I help you in any way?
Thank you kindly, but I think I can handle it.
All right then. Good luck.
Thanks. With this wagon, I'm gonna need it.
May I help you, sir?
I'm interested in buying something here.
Ah, let me show you some things. A fine piece of cloth. With this material, I could make you beautiful shirts. There isn't a more beautiful piece of fabric to be found anywhere. With this, I could make you the finest trousers you've ever had. Well, what do you think?
Well, right now I'm just looking. Thanks anyway.
Sure. Whatever you say, I'm just here to help.
In the corner of the shop, draped casually over a tailor's form, Graham sees a thick fur-lined cloak.
Here, let me help you with that. Oh, that cloak fits you perfectly. It just looks wonderful on you. Let me tell you, it will certainly keep you toasty warm during the coming winter. Let me know if you wish to buy it.
I don't like this at all.
Graham notices a shiny silver coin lying forgotten on the street near the broken wagon. Bending down, Graham quickly retrieves the silver coin from the street. Graham notices an old wooden barrel on the street corner. Inside the barrel, Graham sees an old rotting fish. Graham leans way down into the barrel and removes, phew, the smelly old fish.
Come on in, look around. Let me know if you're interested in anything.
This is a fine little toy shop you have here. You must be very proud.
Danke, son. I've worked very hard at it over the years. But you know, you need to really love it. And I do.
Are most of these toys your creations?
Yeah, most of them. But not all. Some my son made, some I bought. some I traded for.
You're very talented.
Danke, danke. Well, let me know if I can help you.
Graham notices a strong little sled hanging on a side wall.
If it's not in by tomorrow, I'll send you to the sawmill.
Okay, Papa?
Take a look around if you want, but we don't have any shoes to sell you right now. We sold our last finished pair yesterday. Our business ain't doing so good anymore, and we're getting too old to keep trying.
Is there anything I can do to help?
There ain't nothing you can do, short of buying us out. But like I said, if you want to look around, feel free.
Okay, thanks. You don't have any shoes for sale, huh?
That's right. No shoes at all. We're making a pair right now, but it'll take a while. We're not as fast as we used to be.
Oh, that's okay. My own boots should carry me through the rest of my journey.
Sorry, son. We're doing the best we can.
With a fine view of the rushing river, the bakehouse sits a bit out of town, along an old rutted road. Graham spies a huge pile of logs to fuel the bakehouse ovens.
Ooh, I'll wait for you here, Graham.
And how is your poor dear mother doing, William?
Oh, she hasn't been doing too well lately. But my brother and I help out whenever we can. Thanks for asking, Amanda.
Austin, keep your fingers out of that pie. The pies look lovely. I think I'll take one.
Yes, they were just made fresh this morning. Here you go.
Yes, this will be a fine dessert for our dinner tonight. Let's go home, Austin.
Here's the last of the pies.
Welcome to our bakehouse, traveler. Of course, all of our wares are wonderful, but today we've got a special on custard pies. Just 1 silver coin each, but take your time. Let me know when you're ready.
Everything looks so delicious, it's hard to decide what to buy.
Everybody has that problem, but what a problem to have.
Those custard pies look most delicious.
Yes, they're made from a recipe handed down from our dear Mama and her Mama before her.
It's still hard to decide though.
Well, take your time, there's no hurry.
Sir, I would like to purchase one of your custard pies.
These pies cost 1 silver coin each.
I've got it right here. Here you go.
I hope you enjoy your custard pie.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
The Baker brothers seem to have a pet, a large mangy cat. The cat doesn't look very friendly at all. Just off a rutted dirt road, a country inn overlooks the picturesque rushing river. An old, uninteresting barn is located behind the country inn. A large haystack dominates the area in front of the barn. Carefully, Graham searches through the haystack, but doesn't see anything of importance.
Watch out for the bear, Graham!
A large bear seems to be very interested in the honey inside the old tree. A swarm of bees buzz around a hole in a rotted old tree.
I am Queen Beatrice, kind sir. I wish to thank you ever so much for saving our hive from the claws of that horrible bear. In return, I offer you a luscious honeycomb from our hive. Please feel free to retrieve one. I promise my bees won't harm you. It may come in handy on your travels.
Graham reaches a hand into the beehive and retrieves a very sticky chunk of honeycomb. Wrapping it in a protective piece of cloth, he then pockets it. Graham bends down and picks up the large stick from the ground. A bully of a dog terrorizes the poor ants as he playfully digs at their large anthill. The dog is more interested in the anthill than in Graham.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm King Antony the Great. May I ask who you are?
Why, certainly. I'm King Graham of Daventry, and this is my friend Cedric. We're seeking a way to cross the great mountains to the ocean on the other side.
That is a very perilous undertaking. I wish you would reconsider. But if you shall not, in return for rescuing our home from that flea-bitten cur, I wish to offer you our help, if perchance you may ever need it.
Thank you very much, King Antony. Cedric and I appreciate your kind offer. We look forward to meeting you again.
Graham watches with surprise as a contingent of ants marches into the haystack and begins to swarm through it.
I'm glad to see there was a way that we could be of help to you. Look here. We found a golden needle in the haystack. I'd like to present it to you. Perhaps you can find a use for it.
Why, thank you, King Antony. I'm honored.
Good luck in your travels, King Graham. And be careful.
a hot, dry desert for the West. Most people avoid it because there are bandits out there. Ooh, if you insist on going, I'll wait for you here.
The hot sun and choking sands are taking their toll on Graham. Too late. Graham collapses and dies of extreme thirst in the hot desert sun. If only he could have found an oasis. Dying for a drink, Graham?
Ooh, there's nothing but a hot, dry desert for the West. Most people avoid it because there are bandits out there. Ooh, if you insist on going, I'll wait for you here.
A small oasis. Its tantalizing water, so sparkling in the desert sun. Graham's hot, thirsty body is irresistibly drawn to it. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. The Too late. Graham collapses and dies of extreme thirst in the hot desert sun. If only he could have found an oasis. Dying for a drink, Graham? Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. The hut. A small oasis. Its tantalizing water, so sparkling in the desert sun. Graham's hot, thirsty body is irresistibly drawn to it. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. All around him, Graham sees nothing but more desert. How much farther can he go on? Thankfully, though, a nearby pool of water can relieve Graham's overwhelming thirst. Since Graham has just taken a drink, he's not thirsty at the moment. A small pool of water has formed in the space between the two rocks. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. From across the desert sands, Graham can hear the sound of approaching hoofbeats. Looming majestically before him, the massive temple door beckons tantalizingly to Graham. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. From across the desert sands, Graham can hear the sound of approaching hoofbeats.
A spy! Get him!
Never trust a bad guy, Graham. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. Uh-oh. A picked clean and sun-bleached skeleton lies in the sand of the hot, dry desert. What happened? Who can say? But it makes Graham uneasy nevertheless. Uneasily, Graham reaches down and removes the old shoe from the desert sand. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. From across the desert sands, Graham can hear the sound of approaching hoofbeats.
Open sesame!
Carved into the rocky cliffs, an ancient temple towers above Graham as he surveys its ornate columns and friezes. Looming majestically before him, the massive temple door beckons tantalizingly to Graham.
Open sesame!
The temple door won't open. Perhaps there's something missing. Stone statues of Pegasus seem to guard the old crumbling temple. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. With disgust, Graham looks at a drunken bandit lying face down in the desert sand, completely passed out. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. Assorted odds and ends clutter the inside of this small tent, while upon a lovely carpet sleeps another of the despicable renegades. Taking care to be very quiet, Graham reaches out and takes the staff into his possession.
Who are you? A spy!
That wasn't a very smart move for Graham to make. Life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. Taking care to be very quiet, Graham reaches out and takes the staff into his possession. Life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. Life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. The jeweled staff is obviously the work of an expert craftsman.
Open sesame! Oh no! The staff broke!
Quickly, Graham grabs the old brass bottle. Bending down, Graham hurriedly picks up the gold coin from the temple floor.
Phew, that was close.
The staff is broken and is of no use anymore. Life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. Life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. The hot sun and choking sands are taking their toll on Graham. He must drink, and soon. Life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. A small well. Graham's hot, thirsty body is irresistibly drawn to it. A rope and water basket sit near a small well. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. The hot sun and choking sands are taking their toll on Graham. He must drink, and soon. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him.
Well, there you are. I was just starting to get concerned.
Don't worry about me, Cedric. I'm used to this kind of thing.